Okay. I do think I have a... I do think I have my Wii Remote doing a little bit better right now. I closed my window. I do think that having a window open messes with the Wii a little bit since the, Ooh, that's loud. Since, the way that... Oh. E. I do think having a window open messes with it a bit since the way that the... Oh, I need to redraw that ink pot thing at some point. But, yeah, well, I can see just fine as it is. The Wii Remote, the way it works is the so-called sensor bar is really just a couple of red LEDs. Infrared LEDs, I mean to say. So, and then the Wii Remote actually senses those LEDs, the infrared light, and then reports back to the console over Bluetooth how far it is from the sensor bar and what orientation it's at, stuff like that. But the problem being... Oh, do you have good browns for me to use? Not especially great browns, to be honest. But I think I'll steal your browns anyways. Look, they even have like really nicely faded colors. But anyways, you can also use like candles or a window as a sensor bar if you really want. I'm wondering. You can't pick up the alpha, I don't think, from a from these things, but I think you can pick up. Yeah, you can pick up the slight variations in shades, I think. Yeah, you can. Interestingly, so, and then if I, myself, if I start mixing colors together, can I actually basically just, like, mix paints, so to speak? Like, could I, for instance, draw this and this together? And then take this color out of it. Yeah, I got a new color. Oh, that is interesting. Compare that to the actual purple. And is a different color. That is very interesting. You can mix your colors in this game. That the palette is not an actual restriction on what you can draw. You're not required to conform to the palette or anything in this game. That's very peculiar. In Next Chapter DS, I think the way it worked was it would try to blend colors together if you used a soft brush, but it would only use colors within the palette to do the blending, which would sometimes look very awkward. Huh, okay. Anyways. Do I have a good way of getting a good brown that way? Let's see if we can mix our own brown. So I'm thinking, what if I could, and brown is essentially a dark orange, right? So, I mean, there are different hues, of course, still, but... For instance, might this be a nice brown? That's a really dark one. But, that's a really dark brown. That's a start. So that'd be one color we want to use. Let's just get, like, one good circle of that. Okay, maybe one that's not as dark, too. This orange is very saturated, for my taste, but... Might also, no, that's too yellow. There we go. How's this one go? How's this look by comparison? It's a nice dark, a nice lighter one. I'm also thinking, Those ones are close to what I want to begin with. I want a nice, like, beige colored one. As well. I don't know if one of these might make a good color. Also, this one's actually pretty decent to begin with. Yeah, those are three pretty okay wood colors I feel like to work with. Yeah, so if I can't find a color I want in here, I guess that that could be how we do things. We just have to mix our paints first, so to speak. It's kind of funny how I guess they kind of accidentally made a rather interesting kind of trying to think of how to go about this. Interesting kind of something with depth to it here. No. It is annoying how difficult it is to keep this thing still. Just because of the jitter of the motion controls. Yeah, like I did not send that all the way down there, for instance. Actually, this thing here should probably... Yeah, I should, I think I'll first do the main body here. And then I can also make... One thing that's really cool about this is I can probably make highlight and shadow colors really easily this way, because I can just take a color that I have, and then if I don't like the colors that are available to me, I can just make lighter and just mix them with black and white. I wonder if I can mix things with gray too to make them less saturated, or at least mix them. I think I'd have to mix things with a similar level of brightness, because gray would also, it'll take saturation out of things, but also move its brightness to like 50%. Oh. Let's see, look at these for instance. There's other grayscale ones. Yeah, if I can get a for any given color, if I can match its brightness, but then mix it with gray of the appropriate brightness, I think I can just suck out the saturation. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way to make something more saturated, but we already have certain... These colors are super saturated anyways, so I think we're okay on that front. Anyways, this is going to be a pretty basic log. I don't have anything fancy in mind for this log. It's so hard to hit the one button if you hold the remote like they suggest. Like, it's practically completely inaccessible as a button. I'm gonna have to move these guys somewhere else at some point. I guess just to have a little bit of it somewhere. Oh my god. I'll draw this section here real quick. And I'll just get a start on using this for shading real quick. Oh, I did that backwards, didn't I? Darn it. I meant to do the shading before I drew the that lighter color on the left. Try not to bump against the... Just making a perfect horizontal line here. Try not to bump against the outline here. Okay, but just to have gotten these colors out so I can use them. Because otherwise I'm going to have to cover them up to finish this part. I will say it is pretty tedious trying to draw stuff in this game with the motion controls. Especially if you're in the situation that I am, like many people these days, where sensor bar is just not very kind to you. It makes stuff jump around and so on. But it does work. And I do have to say, just being able to mix your colors is actually a really intriguing new dimension that I don't think was deliberate, but I'll take it anyways. But it does still take forever to make stuff that looks almost even remotely decent, nevertheless. I don't like that. I feel like this is a lot more curved than this end is, but I don't think I'm going to be that nitpicky here. One problem is, where in the world am I going to mix more stuff now? If I want to mix anything else. I do have room on here to... That's not really what I wanted. I have room over here to mix more stuff if I have to, I guess. I still haven't decided whether or not to play with brush size much, so I feel like keeping the brush one constant size might be part of the crude aesthetic that I'm going for. I'm not certain, because it does kind of get in the way sometimes of making stuff actually look good, I feel like. I do want a slightly darker color for this thing. Actually, yeah, the color I have now works really well for that. I was gonna try to draw a ring with a really small brush, but I might actually do instead. Something like that instead. Feels a little too thin. I can work with that. Yeah, clearly like these rings are basically circular. This thing's a little bit more ovular, and this thing is very ovular. So clearly these aren't aligned very well. But again, we're figuring things out. That was a fun and interesting experience, even if not an exceptionally impressive result. But hey, I have browns now. That's something I was worried about. More radishes. What would we ever do if we ran out of radishes? Clickhole made a video on that once, and it wasn't pretty. Is there just anything down here? I guess there's nothing down here. Oh, I'm gonna find out. Oh yeah, I forgot they brought lives back in this one. It's so weird. Nope. Game wasn't ready yet. Okay. Was this platform supposed to be anything? I don't remember. I don't think it was. I think it was just a platform. Hey, Lucky. Yeah, I'm thinking I might... So, I don't know. It's hard to decide what to try to draw within the constraints of the art style I'm using in this game, just because of how tough it is to make anything look like anything. But, Ow. Oh, I can punch things. Forgetting. From this distance, the character just looks really buff if he takes damage once, which amuses me. pretty decent range on that punch. It's longer than it looks. I still maintain, I think these drawing sections are actually surprisingly decent. Yeah, they're so much easier to walk on than in the DS version. I actually really, really like that. And I like that they're just casually inserted with the rest of the game, instead of only being relegated to their own little rooms. Yeah, I just don't know what else to draw that thing as. I'm tempted to use the same idea that I used back in the previous game where I tried to draw the hearts from Klonoa. But I can't punch when I happen to be pointing my pointer at something that I can draw on. It's annoying. I don't want stamps, dude. The DS version figured out that stamps didn't have much point. This one really did not, somehow. What are these fish doing? They're just kinda... they're just there. This water is more like quicksand. I guess they're just platforms. Thank you, fish? I guess. Oh. Stop that. Jeez, stamps everywhere. Why is this game so happy to give me stamps? I don't want them. I will say, considering its simplicity, this game still does manage to be fairly pretty. Sure, I'll take it. No. Okay, there's a conflict in the button bindings here. The go down and die button happens to be the same as draw a platform to live on button. And it's context sensitive, which takes effect. What the? Draw. That time really caught me off guard. Music, come on. I was thinking, if you could do it reliably... Oh geez, come on. You only undo one thing at a time too. Yeah, you can really just climb that way. Not that you can't, or I just like make an incline to climb on anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but... Okay, don't make me leave. Okay, cool. Also, hi, Joey. There you go. I don't remember the time limit was. Was it just like 9 minutes? 9:30, okay. I was thinking, I was quiet there because I was trying to focus at least a little bit of on getting through. Because I was thinking, I might be at the very end of this time right now. I wonder if getting exactly 9 minutes would have counted. I suspect it wouldn't have. Okay, anyways. Long episode. Because I spent lots of the episode drawing a tree. Or log, more like. Same thing at different life stages, really. I'll see you next time.